All right, whenever you want. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order at 7:30. Roll call, please.
Mr. Boda.
Here.
Mr. Horn.
Here.
Mr. Knotts.
Here.
Mr. Blackstock.
Here.
Cram is here. Mr. Petsalis is
Is
excused.
excused, yes.
And Mr. Simons?
Here. Thank you. Ralph, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to approving the agenda as presented. I have nothing to add or delete from the agenda.
I'll make that motion, we approve the agenda as presented, no changes.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the agenda as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to approval of the minutes of December 21, 2015.
If there are no additions, deletions, or corrections, I'll make a motion we accept the minutes from December 21st, 2015.
Support.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the minutes of December 21. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have public comments. Is there anybody in the audience like to speak about anything that's not on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We have the C1, 2015 Planning Commission Annual Report. C2 is the Quarterly Sheriff Department Report. C3 is the December 2015 Building Department Report. C4 is the 2015 Building Department, that's a report for the whole year, yeah. The other one was just December. We have the C5 is the December 2015 Marine City Fire Report. C6 is the December 2015 St. Clair Fire Report. C7 is the January 6, 2016 Historical Commission Minutes. C8 is the December 28th, 2015 ZBA Minutes. C9 is the December 9th, 2015 Park Commission Minutes. And C10 is the December 2015 Revenue and Expenditure Report. And I'd like to turn it over to Under Sheriff Buckley if we have any questions. Anybody have anything for?
No, the report looks pretty good to me.
I was wondering, do you have any information as to how this compares to previous year?
No, I did not do that.
Okay.
It's not something I did. I didn't do it, check to
I just know
last
if we're
year.
getting better, getting worse, whatever.
I can. I have looked over this report, and I would say, in my opinion, looking over a township this size with the area we have, I think things are under control. I don't see anything in there that really scares me or makes me nervous. I can certainly compare that and send a report to the board if you'd like. It wouldn't take me very long at all, and I can do that in about 5 minutes and send it on.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I for one want to thank you and your compadres for doing a great job in our township. I think that we're well served by the sheriff.
I appreciate that comment. We're very happy to be the law enforcement services for East China Township. We take it very seriously, all our contracts. But this is a township that we're very happy to serve, and we hope that we're doing the best job we possibly can for the citizens of East China.
I agree. I think you're doing a great job. Just a couple of comments. I know we have one of our officers is off. Could you maybe pass it along that the officers should be stopping by here a little bit, at least once a day?
I absolutely can, yes.
I know we've had that problem before and we corrected it, but I understand we have subs, so they probably are not aware of that. I don't know.
You will have you have a new deputy sheriff assigned to the township. It's going to be Deputy Cronkright. He's new to the township. I'm trying to remember if he's been with another township or not. I think not. He came from the jail, and he's been on the road about 4 years now. I think he's in his 5th year. I will have a talk with the supervisors, make sure that they know that they're to stop in at least once
Yeah,
a
I mean,
day.
you know, it does, if they're busy, it doesn't have to be every day, but,
No, I'm sure they can find time to stop in.
I mean, just stop, say hi, and so we know they're
He will
around.
be permanent for at least a year. Deputy Duva is coming back, but she's.
Because we like to get them to know them, so if somebody, if we
Absolutely.
have to send them out, it's better to put a name with the face, you know?
Not a problem.
Then the other thing is there any way that you track when they go on support? If they leave the township, how do we know if they're leaving the township and they're supporting either St. Clair, Marine City, Algonac, or wherever they go?
That would be found in assist other departments. That's a combination of if they were to leave the township to assist, or if they were assisting another department inside the township. So it doesn't really specify one over the other, but as long as that number isn't a huge number, it should signify that they're not leaving the township
But
area.
how do I know if that's a huge number?
Well, I guess it would be a matter of opinion as to whether it's a big number or
But
not.
right now, we don't know if there's any number.
Well,
Yeah.
if you look at assist other department, which is the third category down,
Oh,
for
assist
last
other
quarter, it was
departments? Oh,
4,
okay.
yes. Yeah, anytime they would leave the township to assist another agency, they would pull a complaint and log it, it would get logged
And
in
I want
on
them to
that.
do that. I was just wondering, you know, if,
Mm-hmm.
because I've seen them in Marine City and I've seen them other places, and I figure it's our car, you know, but, okay. No, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I would want them to come to our aid if we had a problem too, you know.
And that does happen,
That's
but
what it's all
it's something we were very concerned about. We had almost, I won't say every time we have a staff meeting, but when we have a staff meeting with our sergeants and lieutenants, we always stress that township contracts they're paying for that, they deserve that service, they shouldn't leave unless it's an emergency.
And I don't mind letting go in an emergency. I mean,
It's our policy that if a call comes in, or if a dispatcher thinks that they need to have a township car leave the township for any reason, they have to get it cleared through a supervisor.
oh,
So
okay.
supervisor will make that decision whether it's something that they need to leave or not.
So they just don't leave if Marine City or St. Clair calls them, they have to run it through your dispatch? Yeah?
That's correct.
Oh, that's fine then. That's what I was wondering, how that worked. Okay, no, I don't have a problem. I think you're doing a great job. I mean, we don't have a lot of complaints from residents, and
But
I
you
think
got help
it's-
from the border patrol too, so I see them in the cemetery every once in a while.
Yep, they're,
Somebody dying to get in?
they're along the border, and they're more than willing to help wherever
Cross
they
the
can.
border to
so.
get to the
Yeah.
Does the
cemetery?
B&E number seem high, or the 101?
D.
That's for alarms. That's not necessarily that something was broken into, but that's an alarm, breaking in an alarm. I wouldn't call that high because we get a lot of false alarms. We run on,
That's when a lot of these came after storms, when the storms trip off. B&E alarm.
they do, they'll get tripped from storms, they'll get tripped from people walking in and not having the passcode quick enough, or whatever the case may be, but, actual breaking and enterings for the year, B&E building, which is, 2 categories above that, was 13, so 13 for the year. I wouldn't, we don't want to see, I'd like to see that number at 0, but I don't think that's ever going to happen, so.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you, appreciate it.
Pass it along that we're satisfied with.
I will, absolutely. I'll let the sheriff know tomorrow.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Take care.
Get over to China. All right, so is there any other questions on the consent agenda?
Yes.
Okay,
On the revenue expenditure report, page 12-23. I knew this was going to happen. I tried to explain that when you amend the budget to increase the amount you spend and don't amend the budget to have to increase the original budget on the building inspector department, it appears that we're almost 200% overspent, when we're really not, because we don't, all the money we get to support the building, electrical, and mechanical contractors is money comes in as fees.
correct.
Fees, so there's no way we're overexpended the way this report says.
But we had to do the budget for like, 14, and that, and then as the building picks up, then our budget doesn't come up to because we have all the permits
Yeah.
and the money
But you
was.
can we amended the expenditures. There's nothing that says you can't amend the budget.
Right.
Item 2 and make it look. Anyway, it just shows there's a big 169%
Yeah, it shows it.
there, and it's not true. The other thing is, I would ask that when we do one of these for our third of the month review, that it also include the Water and Sewer Authority for both sewer and water.
Okay.
So I can compare our fund in East China that supports the sewer and water. Since I don't have the sewer and water authority's report in here, I'll probably get it at my next meeting in a month or two, but we always have had it before. I don't know why it's not in this particular one. But
She's new
please,
at it.
please include it.
Yeah, you're right, Don, she is new at it.
She's new
I think
at it.
she's doing a great job. It's
she's
just
catching
every
on.
day, it snowballs in here. I mean, what we're finding, so.
She's catching on in a hurry.
There's a lot of catching to do here.
I have nothing else.
Okay. Anybody else have anything on the consent agenda? If not, a motion to accept the consent.
I'll make the motion when you accept the consent agenda as presented.
I'll support.
All right, it's been moved and supported that we accept the consent agenda as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please. Or, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to disbursements, we have bills of $139,347.15. We have a payroll of $74,059.22. We have ACH payments of $27,863.45. Excuse me. We have a tax account of $372,283.65 for a total disbursement of $613,553.47.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills on the amount of $613,553.47.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we pay the bills, $613,553.47. Is there any further discussion on that? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Blackstock.
Yes.
Mr. Knotts.
Yes.
Mr. Horn.
Yes.
Mr. Boda.
Yes.
Cram, yes. Mr. Simons.
Yes, motion carries. Next, we're moving on to new business. Item 1, discussion of demolition of the old DPW lift station and structure. You guys that's been here a long time, Don and Don, you remember when we
Is
put
this the
that?
one on Point Drive?
No. Well, it's on Point Drive. It's at the DPW station.
Yeah, I've seen it. I know what it is.
We put the new lift station in there, what, 10 years ago?
At least, yeah.
And we were using that old lift station there, so when we built the new one, we switched it over, but we left that structure there. The DPW was using it for Roger had it as an office, and they had the wash machine and dryer in there.
Okay.
It's really, I mean, if you get some time, go down there and take a look at it.
Terrible.
It is bad. And
If we can afford it, we need to do something about it.
Well,
yeah.
I say the first thing we should do is demo that. I've been doing some research on it. I guess I just wanted to have the discussion to find out if the board is in favor of pursuing this. And, I mean, it's probably gonna be an expense when we get ready to tear it down.
Well, I assume that it's probably right now, because it's a structure, something that we're paying for insurance to insure.
Probably is insured, yeah.
So if we're paying to insure a building that needs to be torn down, we're gonna save the money of insuring it by taking it down.
Yeah, true, but it's not just a building, and it needs to be, so someone would have to do some serious looking at it to find out what has to be done, determine
Well, and I
that
talked
there's
to-
the deep pit and it's full of
There's gotta be
pipes
some
and,
lines taken out.
and it's got
everything else.
that upper, tank, small tank, those walls are probably 2 feet concrete.
It's gonna be a big job.
It's a big job, and I went down partially into that hole. That's as far as I wanted to go down
Down that
ladder.
spiral staircase.
And, that goes down a ways, and there's a lot of stuff down there that would have to come out, and it's full of water.
And we're talking, we shut the heat off to it now. We're talking about salvaging what we can. There's a couple of good motors down there for those lift pumps. So there's some that we could salvage, but I want to my goal is to do it internally. do all this stuff like you say, Don, find out what's hooked up in there. I've already talked to our staff here, which is Chuck and Blaine and Dwayne, and we're gonna go through, and I've got the building inspector checking it, to see if there's any asbestos or lead or anything that needs to be abated in there. So we're just gonna try to do it internally. We're gonna work slow at it. When we get everything ready to go, then we'll put it out for bid, if that's what the board wants to direct me to do.
What would hurt to just fill it in once you get it
Well,
cleaned
but
out?
we could maybe do that, because the rest of the footings is what they're telling me. There's a lot of footings there
That's
from the
that's
old,
the expense.
the old water plant is in there, you know?
That's the
And sewer
expense of
plant.
getting them footings out. If we could just fill it in and forget it,
Right.
that would be the thing to do.
I don't-
Where would they, if the building's being used as somewhat office, is there any other place?
We've evacuated the building now. We're not
Okay,
using
is
it.
the office over on Springborn?
They actually moved the washing machine and the computer station that they had in there. They put it in their 3 bays they got down there.
Yeah,
at
they
the
fixed up the
DPW.
one bay as a
They
as a
fixed the
reasonable
one bay up.
office.
That's where they eat their lunch, where they park the vehicle.
Yeah.
I
it's,
mean,
they've
we
got-
really should,
that's
and
fixed.
that'll be the next thing, after we get this down. I think we should move in a direction to either add on at Springborn Road or add on over here a couple of bays and give them some more room.
Yeah, I wonder if Wade Trim might be requested. I've been told that there's nothing down there that's hooked up into any existing system, but I don't know that, and there's a lot of pipes and connections down there.
A lot of connections. But according to like what one of the supervisors said, that we could probably call Wade Trim. They were the ones that did all the engineering to tear the old water plant
Yeah,
down. They should be able to tell me without charging me if there's anything in there we have to look at.
Yeah, that's something that's still connected, or a valve that's connected but just shut off, or something like that.
We're more concerned with the electric. How is it, are we feeding the new station out of that old
Okay.
station?
And the other thing is, I'm not sure, but I don't think you'll be able to, you talk about filling it in, unless you pull everything out.
Right.
You're not allowed to just bury it.
Right. We may demo it some of that
Okay.
internal. We may salvage some of it and scrap it or whatever. We'll see.
Great place
We're
to
just
dump
gonna
about
move
6
slow. I'll
loads of
keep the
concrete
board
and
abreast
everything to let us.
of what we're doing if you guys are, if you want me to pursue this.
I know if it's an outdated building and it's not being used for anything, and it's taking up space, just get rid of it.
I think we should pursue it to find out, to the
Cost.
point where it's gonna find out how much it's gonna cost. Because of my understanding and looking into it once before, the reason it wasn't done before was because it was a substantial amount of cost, and we were doing other things at the time, and we didn't want to spend the
Well,
money.
we were using the lift station until we got the newer one in
Yeah,
there.
but that lift station's been in operation for a while.
Yeah, probably 8 or 10 years.
That's what I'm getting
That's
at.
what I'm saying. This just got,
I'm saying,
all 3 of these things have kind of got lost in the shuffle.
what I'm saying is, 8 or 10 years ago, when they switched the station, the discussion was, what should you do with the old one?
It was
And
quite
because it was so
expensive
expensive,
Oh,
they
they
said,
did
don't
have
do
that
nothing.
discount.
And
Oh,
that's
okay.
why it's still there.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to pursue it until it costs money. How's that?
Okay.
Up to the point, yeah. Let's see what we can find out.
All right, so, I mean, as long as I work on it with our guys internally, and I think we've got a lot of knowledge here, and I think we can get a handle on it.
It should go, and as long as we can afford it, I fully,
And this may be something we have to do next year,
Full
put it
agree
in
that
as a
yeah.
budget item.
fully agree that it needs to be cleaned up.
Right, okay. All right, so I'll pursue that then. We don't need a vote or anything on that. Next thing under new business is item 2, discuss purchasing a GIS handheld device and software for locating valves and lines. Again, I'm going to pull from our experience here. Probably 12, 14 years ago, we paid Wade Trim
That's right.
a large amount of money to go through the whole township and identify all these lines and valves.
They haven't done it, have they?
They did it. Well, we never got anything. We had nothing. And about a year ago, when Mike McLeod and Dion were here, and Mike Schneider was the DPW, we had a meeting in this room with another company, and they were gonna GPS our whole system. Well, Mike McLeod or Dion, one of them said, well, we had that done by Wade Trim
That's right.
several years ago. So I left here and went into my office. I called Wade Trim. They said, oh, yeah, we got that. We got the disc. We'll bring it to you.
Yeah, they told us that several times and it never came
Well,
up.
we got the disc now. We have that information. I've got it loaded onto The water plant, the sewer plant, and the DPW has it. And they can sit there at their desk and look at it. But what I'm saying is you can't go out in the field
And find them.
and find them, because we don't have anything that's handheld. If you read that letter in there that Newmer sent me in the back,
Right.
it's right here,
Frank,
yeah.
Frank sent that to them.
Yeah, I read it.
You know, and what they're telling me is somehow we've got to get the data onto the internet, so then we can pull it off the internet on either a cell phone, a tablet, an iPad, or some other device to get, so we can locate it, from the satellite.
Now, wait a minute. The disk we have has GPS coordinates of all the things that we are looking for, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what you need is a device that reads, that you can walk to the specific
Area.
GPS coordinate and be standing on it.
Yep, that's right.
Those, okay, I used to do some geocaching, and that stuff is available. Because you do geocaching, they give you a GPS, and you gotta go find whatever's there, and it can be something very small. And it works, they do it with an iPhone. So I am a little, if we have the GPS coordinates, and we have a GPS device, like, you got them in your car, for example.
But what they're
What do
saying,
they need- what's this?
they're saying that like an iPhone will only get you with plus or minus 15 feet. Well, that's not, according to Blaine, that's not close
Yeah,
enough.
if you got it covered with snow and everything, Lonnie, you're not gonna be able to find it right away. If you
Well,
need
so
it.
they need to check and find out how much it is to get one that gets them closer, and we need
Correct.
to know that.
But again, this is a discussion I wanted to have. Do you want me to pursue this and find out what, because I'm not gonna spend all my time finding this out and then find out we don't even wanna do it, But I say we spent all this money 10 years or 12 years ago,
That's
and
right.
we haven't even utilized it in all these years. We've lost,
And why do we
Because
gotta
if we're
put
sending out to dig a hole, we certainly don't want them to dig 15 feet away from where they really needed to dig and have to
But
you know,
they're
that's
asking for two things. They're asking you to put the
Two things.
disk
Yeah.
on the internet so that you can have it on
Correct.
site, and then they're asking you for the GPS device.
correct. Two
If you
things.
have the GPS number, why do you need to have it on? Our guys don't go out just looking around for stuff.
Larry,
They're
should-
going looking for something specific. They open up their computer, you've got the disk, they find the GPS
Coordinates, yeah.
coordinate of the spot they want, then they need a device to go to that spot. But I don't understand why we need to put the disk on the internet for $5,500.
Yeah.
You can't just input into the device the coordinates. that go
You're
off
talking
the disk.
to a computer
Would you-
illiterate here.
I thought all that money that we spent years ago, they were supposed to supply everything to us.
Well, I looked up in the minutes back in, I believe it was '02, and it said about we bought that, we had them do that GPS and of everything, and it also said in there that we okayed, the board here, okayed an expenditure at that time of $5,000 for some handheld device or some kind of device, it says in the minutes. But after talking to the girls, they said that could have been a motion, but if nobody pursued it, we didn't spend the money. We
That's
can't
right.
see where we spent it to do it. I had to go back through the minutes, like say the '02.
Well, yeah, but a device to find that now, I don't think is gonna be that kind of money.
Never go.
Well, what he's telling me here is I should be calling this other company. I'm trying to, we're trying not to trying to do this ourselves. So he's saying you should call this Michigan Survey and Supply and tell them what we want. So I haven't called them yet. I just been talking to Wade Trim, and I've been talking to Dwayne and Blaine about it.
Well, they put us off so many years, I wouldn't even talk to Wade and Trim anymore.
I'm not spending any money with them. I'm just talking.
I would
think we
contact-
should get the thing that they can hold in their hand with the coordinate typed in, and when you
And
get
walk
to that
right-
spot, it goes beep, beep, beep.
Yep.
That's
walk
what,
right over.
I agree with Ralph.
All right, so
I
you
don't
want
think
me
we
to
need
pursue a little bit more and I'll get more detail?
I think we need more
Oh,
information.
yeah,
I
we
think
need-
so, too.
We need
The-
information.
The only thing in here they're talking about is the $5,500 to put it on the internet. There isn't even a quote in here for the cost.
Well,
of
he's
the-
telling me
the
if you want
device.
something precise, you're probably gonna be talking about 10 grand
To get within, what, a few inches?
to get you within probably 2 feet.
2 feet.
Blaine is
How do you-
thinking we need
How do you
something
go
within.
find some little geocache thing stuck under a log?
I don't know.
I don't know neither.
Larry,
I think we need some more information.
Okay, well, let me do some more research on it then.
There are devices that can get you fairly close. I know that the military devices get you very close.
Right.
And the expense on them is primarily hardening them for use by soldiers. So I would, I think we need some information. I think
Okay.
it sounds a little high for a device. And I would wonder, is it really necessary that we put this on the internet? There's probably unless you're going to crypto it a little bit, there may be some negatives.
Correct, I thought about that too.
About putting it on the
Yeah.
internet.
That would be similar to a device like Miss Dig uses. They can go and pinpoint anything they want.
Well, see, what Blaine is thinking is if we get real close, then we can use our metal detector too to find it.
Sure.
But
A couple of feet.
all
I
right,
can see.
I'll continue to
Yeah.
look into this then, if the board is thinking we might go down that road.
I think it's a good idea. We ought to be able to find the pipes and valves so Blaine and his folks can work on them.
Well, we had trouble with this fire hydrant over here on Meisner Road. That's why it took so long to fix that. It happened last February, and they couldn't find the shut-off, and there's frost in it. They figured it's in the intersection of Meisner and Bell River, but it's all frozen, and we don't want to just start busting all the road up to find that thing, So they held off. We have two lines on Meisner, so
I noticed they took the one hydrant out of there now.
yeah, well, we finally got the valve so we could shut that, I think it's a 8-inch off. So,
That's the one that goes to school.
well, there's two lines there,
Is there two there?
two lines on Meisner.
I know they had one going to the school.
Yep.
I don't
Now
know.
they've got a newer one in there they put in, I don't know, the 70s. Okay, so I'll pursue that again then too, so if the board's in favor of doing that. The next thing is item 3 under new business. This is discuss purchasing a meter and backflow preventer for the hydrant rental fees.
Yeah, I got a big on that one. So would you please explain it?
Well, let me tell you what we got. We have a vendor that takes a large amount of water in a big truck. He came to us here about a year ago, came into my office. He gets a lot of water out of St. Clair, but he wasn't able to get it because they were behind on their water. So he asked if he could get it here, and we let him fill up on Putty Gut Road, and he's continued to fill up in the township. He fills up over by the St. Clair Chevy dealer in China Township. But he just hooks onto the fire hydrant, and then his truck hauls like so many gallons, and that's how we bill him.
Well, hell, you don't know how many he's putting in there then.
Well, that's what I'm telling you, that's why we're doing this. So I'm saying, everybody else in the township, we're metering. So what meter we have today is just a 2-inch meter that we rent out to contractors. They used it on Point Drive. They rented it when they paved Point Drive. You seen that water truck go up and down to keep the dust down? They actually rented our meter and they took it out of our fire hydrant. So I'm saying do the same thing. I've talked to this contractor. He's all on board with it. I mean, he doesn't have a problem with having a meter there.
Do you know what a meter like that would cost, Larry?
I got it in your package. And I talked to him today, and he said that he uses 3-inch lines. I got a 3 and a 4 there in your packet. I believe the 3-inch is 1,200, and the 4-inch was 18 something. But he said he doesn't need a 4-inch. So I'm saying that we should get the 3-inch with the backflow preventer and rent it to him, as part of the fee.
Is this something we can move around the township then?
Yes, it'll be something you'll put on the fire hydrant and take off.
Before they do, okay.
Move it all around.
And the other thing would be,
So what you're saying is you charge him a small rental fee, eventually we pay for the
the meter.
meter.
The other thing is, Ralph, now with the ready to serve, where does that come into it? The bulk water, we charge like $6 a thousand for the bulk water. Right now is what our rate is.
We was planning on charging $5.90 something for sprinklers, which is a similar usage. So I would say $6 is
So we would,
similar.
we wouldn't get into the ready to serve.
We don't do
it on
ready,
the
we do not
sprinklers?
do ready to serve on
Okay.
sprinklers. I would think this.
And
would
that
be
water
decent.
doesn't go through the
decent.
sewer, so he's just paying the flat $6, so.
Yeah, and we're charging more per gallon to offset the fact that we do not charge a ready to serve rate. So
Okay.
I don't see a problem with that. Up to you.
I don't either. But I just think we should have the meter, because I get a lot of questions on why is this happening. So I say, let's get let's buy a meter, and then we'll figure out what we charge. Teresa's off right now, and I believe we put a deposit down on the meter when they take it, and then we charge them some type of rental fee on it too, so. If the board is good with that, I'll pursue getting that. I mean, it's within my limits of 1,200 with my
Well, a
1,500.
good idea to me.
Eventually, we're gonna get our money back out of it.
I would, oh, yeah, and this person is buying a lot of water from the township, a lot of water. So, if the board is good with that, I mean, and we make all of our contractors buy their meters, so. Let me pursue this a little bit more and talk to what way we should go with this.
I just, question I have is taxable sometimes.
Yeah, that won't be, this was just an estimate of what you got, they wouldn't pay taxes, no. I see that. No, we're gonna pay sales tax, no. So it'll even be cheaper, is what you're saying, yeah.
So you're gonna pursue the 3
I'll pursue the 3-inch line, yeah.
Okay.
So again, I don't think we need any motion or anything on that, I'll just pursue that. But I wanted to get it in the minutes that we're talking about it. Okay, the next thing under new business is the MTA annual dinner. They sent me a thing, they want to know an RSVP and how many is going to go, if anybody's going to go.
I won't be available, unfortunately.
What's that?
I won't be in town then.
Does anybody want to go, other than me?
I've been to them before. That's a very,
Yeah,
it's a
they
nice.
usually have good speakers
Yeah,
at
it's a
this.
nice outing, if you will.
Okay.
I'd have to have paid for Cindy to go so she can drive me out there.
Yeah.
I'd pay for her to.
Do you want to go?
I'm thinking about it.
All right, well, you gotta let me know tomorrow, because I gotta send it in.
Tomorrow or next day?
Tomorrow or Thursday or whatever.
So the 18th, they want to know by 29th?
Right, but I got it, they're sent me another email today, letting me know, so they can set up their reservation. Whenever you let me know, you'll be able to go. Okay, that's all I have. Announcements, I don't have any. Anything pertaining to the township. The one thing, the Chamber of Commerce, Spring City Chamber of Commerce, we've been a member of that for a few years. Does the board want me to renew that membership?
Keep them trucking?
Have they done us any good?
I think it's $30.
Just pay us.
That's not much.
Nobody has a problem with it?
No.
Okay.
Which Chamber of Commerce?
Marine City Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
We've been a member of it for quite a while. And I'm also still working on that sewer and water agreement. I think we've got it all ironed out pretty good. We seem to have it was a real learning experience. It's something that, we've relied on somebody else to do it for a lot of years. And it's brought light to everybody's eyes, and we've learned a lot in the last, I know Ralph has been involved in it, and yeah, I think we've learned a lot on how it works, and I think we've been doing it right all these years. It was just that we needed more clarification, and I think we got it. So with that, I'll move on to member comments. Mr. Horn.
Yeah, I got one. I noticed a vacant lot over on the southwest corner of Springborn Road and Bell River, which would make a good parking lot for that canoe ramp, and it's for sale.
The realtor called me the day it went for sale. It's $50,000.
But I just wonder if they could apply for a grant, maybe get a grant to pick it up.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's,
That would make a beautiful parking lot for that.
Yeah, that's why she called, because she knew we just put the canoe ramp in
I
there.
went by it
Or
a
not
few
ramp,
times.
canoe launch, kayak launch.
I just thought I'd bring it up to the board.
Yeah, we talked about it, but I didn't know if we wanted to spend it.
They might be able to get a grant to pick it up.
Can mention it next time, next meeting.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Horn?
No, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Boda?
I have nothing, thank you.
Ms. Graham?
I'm good.
Mr. Blackstock?
Nothing, thanks.
Mr. Knotts?
Yeah, there was a thing in our packet about the St. Clair County Road Commission meetings. Do we need to do anything? Do you need to do it? Information from us on that,
Yeah, it
if at
was in
all?
the back. I forgot.
They're coming in July. Oh, that's the annual meeting. I think Mr. Horn just went the last couple of years with me.
I'll go again if you want to go.
Yeah, I had to reserve a date, so I picked 3:30 to 5:30 on, I believe it's the 24th.
Yes,
Yeah,
I mean,
Wednesday.
We could, if somebody wants to attend one of the other ones, we can probably switch the date if,
no, I just wondered if, since you did not bring it up, I was wondering
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing is, I just had one question. I guess I should ask this earlier. I know we've spent some money on the calendars, and I was wondering how much of that gets offset by ad revenue? See, it's about $3,700 printing expense.
Just the ads offset it, don't it? Help offset
No,
it.
it helps offset it. Now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $650, I think, that comes in ads.
do you solicit those ads, or do you just?
We did when we originally were doing it, most of it. We added a new person last year who went again this year, and the people who've been doing it have just continued to do it every year.
I mean, we've had new businesses in the area. Maybe we should solicit some other businesses
I can mention that at the
Yeah.
beautification meeting.
to help offset our costs.
Yeah, I don't have any comment. I think it's a good service to our residents. I use it, and I've had other
Oh.
people tell me that they use the calendar for some information for our township, so I don't mind spending some money on it. I was just wondering if, I know there were quite a bit of advertising in there. I wonder if
I get a lot of
they
comments on it.
get, yeah,
Yeah, I do too.
the advertisers are getting some exposure with that. Maybe we should be charging them so adequately for it, whatever they.
So maybe you can mention it at the beautification.
You can do that.
Okay. Is that all you had, Ralph?
I have nothing else.
All right. What did I just add something on the tip? Oh, I'll be leaving this week to go to the MTA convention in Detroit, so hopefully I can bring back some good information to you. But I'll be leaving Wednesday morning early. I'll be on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Actually, it starts, the pre thing is Tuesday, but I'm not going to the pre. The official opening is 8:30 Wednesday morning, so.
Don't get in the gunfire.
The what?
Don't get in the gunfire down there.
Well, I just got an email from the MTA. I just looked at it before I came in, and they said, if you're gonna go down on Wednesday, that to stay off the lodge, because President Obama's coming in for the auto show.
That's right, too. Yep.
And they said to use I-75 to 375 to, probably to Jefferson.
Stall out in the
That's right, he is.
intersection, make 'em wait.
They're gonna make me wait. They're
I
not-
used to
Yeah,
live,
you're not gonna get.
I'll be
within-
the one stuck.
You're not gonna get by the lodge.
Yeah.
That
I
was,
used to live on Selfridge when the president that was one of the places he landed. He may be landing there again.
Probably.
And man, nothing moved when he was around.
yeah, because if he's landing at
We
Selfridge,
just all
you're not
stayed
gonna be
in our
able to get
houses
down
and wait till the
94.
leave.
You might as well,
I'm gonna leave early. I'm gonna leave at 6, and I'll get down there early. Hopefully, I'm early. With that, I have nothing else. So if anybody wants to make a motion that we adjourn,
I'll make a motion, we adjourn at looks like 8:08.
8:08.
I'll support.
We have a motion, we adjourn at 8:08. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, we are adjourned.